Just a quick fast break question. So I just sort of throw out some prompts, and if you just shoot back whatever comes into your mind. So it's just a couple of words here and there.
Sure.
Yeah. Who was your favourite match with?
Randy Savage, the first one, Spring Stampede, because that was the match that really put me on the map.
And what was the worst injury you've had in the ring?
Well, I blew out my back. My neck really hurt, but I could still move around. With my back, I was crippled, and I had 3 spine specialists tell me I was never going to wrestle again. That's why there's a DDP Yoga. When they tell me my career's over, I just signed a multi-million-dollar 3-year deal that would have went bye-bye. And it wasn't even so much about the money. It was about finally working so hard to get to this position on the card. So I'd have done anything. And that's where, what looked like was the darkest moment ever in my life turned out to be the best thing that ever happened to me. And that's why you have to always try to stay positive and look for that silver lining, in that cloud, because 9 times out of 10, when you get fired from a job or your old lady breaks up or your boyfriend breaks up with you, sometimes it literally can be the best thing that ever happened to you, but you've got to believe that, and you've got to move in that direction.
Yeah, that's why I think you're awesome. It's you just take anything bad, you just say, how am I going to turn this into an opportunity? You don't let it beat you. You just keep going and going and going. And, when I used to watch you against the the New World Order, it was like that. You just kept going and going and going till you achieved what you needed. What's a guilty pleasure of yours?
Chocolate chip cookies that are gluten-free. Ice cream, but that's coconut ice cream. I think those are my 2 biggest guilty pleasures.
And what's an unusual fact about yourself that few people would know?
Oh, God, I'm so transparent. I think most people have a pretty good idea. Probably the biggest fact is that people don't know till they do it, and you might back this up. When you first do DDP Yoga, when the workout's over, the first thing you say is, man, I didn't think it was going to be anything like that. Because in your mind, you've already preconceived what you think yoga is, because you've seen people make fun of yoga and blah, 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 and then you go, wow, that's not what I thought it was going to be. So I think that would be like the biggest thing, because everything else, I'm so damn transparent. There's,
because that's what I say to people.
I'll tell you what.
All you need is a pair of shorts and a t-shirt, or, any loose-fitting clothes. You just need a bit of space, and then all you do, you're contracting muscles, you're putting yourself into poses, and people go, yeah, you can't get fit, and it's like, try it. Just, it's amazing how much you sweat and how much calories you burn just by doing it, and you make it so much fun just by, like throwing up the gestures and hulking up, and before you know it, you're in great shape, and there's hundreds of thousands of people who are doing it daily, and it's just proof. The proof is in the pudding, as they say.
Yeah.
So what do you want people listening to this interview to take from it? What do you want your universal message to be?
Anything's possible. So many people don't believe in anything. They don't believe they can do, there's just, so many people don't believe they can do the things that they actually can really do. And by just listening to some of the things, like if there's one thing just from this interview, is stop filling your head with the senseless negative garbage. Try to fill your brain with positive belief, love, conviction that it's possible for you, to actually turn your life around, and if it's already going in the right direction, to give it a boost. There's anything's possible. And that's really what I hope people walk away from. When anyone comes to one of my DDP Yoga inspiration meets perspiration, like they literally, for that moment, they're on track big time. And I tell them how to stay on track. Like my app, my DDP Yoga Now app with motivational Mondays, and God, there's got to be 50 motivational Mondays up there. You can listen to one a day for the next 50 days, And again, it's listening to positive intake, focusing on, giving yourself a positive story about yourself as opposed to a negative story.